See. Welcome, 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 welcome. I am so excited today. I have a very dear friend, and she's coming all the way from Idaho. Miss Jessie from Of the West is here, and she's also I probably have a little bit of a girl crush on her because she has done so many things in such a small amount of time. And it's super fun. One of my first memories of Jessie is we were at the Denver market and we were buying jewelry. We were at the Alzuni, and you came over and you're like, "Hi, Lorena, it's Jessie." And I was like, "Oh my God, this is the girl from Instagram." I'm like,
Oh,
because with my previous company, with I almost said Lucky Chuck, with Gypsy Soul, which normally I do it the other way. I always say Gypsy Soul instead of Lucky Chuck. Uh, there really wasn't like social media. I mean, there was social media, but it wasn't to the level of what it is today. So I didn't understand, I would follow people and I'd be like, how are they getting all these views? How are they doing this? I don't understand this. And so it was just great to meet you in the flesh that day. And I want to say we met before then, but that is like my most vivid, like best memory, or not, I shouldn't say best, but that I remember right off the top of my head.
I think that was like 2017, probably.
I think I was speaking
Yes.
uh, at the summit that year, and
Yeah,
I
I
went.
think that would have been, 2017, maybe 2018. But yes, it's been a while. It's been a long time. But I will say that is honestly the best compliment you could ever say, that you have a girl crush on me, because I so look up to you. You really are just you've made so many monumental moves in the industry, and you have such a great reputation, and you've built such a strong network. And those are all of the types of things that I hope to achieve in my lifetime. And so to hear that from somebody who has gone before me and done it flawlessly, like,
Oh,
that means the world. Thank you.
you probably wouldn't say that when me and Amy were beating down some guy in Denver on the street for taking our taxi. It was not flawless. And like Amy and I always say, it's our story. We can tell it the way we want to.
I love
And
it.
she hits like a dude. She doesn't hit like a girl.
I bet.
Well, for you saying in that, for what you accomplish in your lifetime, you have accomplished so many of those things. I mean, it's amazing to see what you've done already, and also being a wife, a ranching wife, and working. Is when we got on this call, she's like, "I need to go out and water the cows," and so as soon as I get off, at least she doesn't have like the scrunchie on her wrist when you to leave your water
You
on.
leave your water on.
Yeah, the rubber band around your, yeah, she hasn't done that yet. And you're a mom of two amazing kids. So what are the three top things that you feel like keeps your, I hate this word, the balance, because I feel like from day to day, hour to hour, you have to, living on a ranch or having horses or any part of that of your life, things can change in a second. So, what are the top three things for other business boss babe ranch wives that keep you sane?
Oh, this is such an awesome question. So I have always kind of likened it to paper plates versus fine china. Obviously, we know that paper plates, they can't hold much at all. If you put a pile of lasagna on there, chances are the bottom is going to fall out. Whereas fine china, the it is going to be able to hold the load, but if you drop it, it is going to break. If you drop that paper plate, it is not going to break. And so I kind of know that there are various things in my life, and it changes in the seasons, but sometimes that thing is a paper plate and I can drop it on the floor and it is going to be able to sit there and survive. And other things are fine china. And I know those are things that I can never drop, because if I do, that thing is going to break. And then, a couple months ago, what was maybe my paper plate is now fine china. And what was china at that moment has now kind of taken more of the, what is that, like melamine or whatever, like it's kind of
Yes.
the in between, like it might
Yeah.
shatter, it might not. We're gonna see how well it bounces, and then then it may be paper. And I think life kind of flows like that. So right now, for instance, for this season that we're in all of our fall cow work, and we've gotten calves in the feedlot, and so the ranch kind of takes a priority. I was supposed to go to Jet's Thanksgiving lunch at school, and my children are my absolute priority, but we had to move cows that day. And if our cows don't have food and they don't have water, like, that takes priority over my kid knowing that like he knows we're out there working, but he doesn't have his parents there. So we didn't go to Thanksgiving lunch, but I sent my mom and my mother-in-law. So he still
Yes.
had people. It wasn't me and my husband, but like he still felt loved and included and happy. But it wasn't me and my husband because we had to go do ranch things. I was also supposed to go to the Cowgirl Hall of Fame luncheon, but I had to cancel my trip because we had new ranch things that we were doing and I needed to be there because I am highly involved in that process. So there are always things that, when the ranch takes priority, but then in the summer when the irrigation is under control and Justin and our hired man and my dad can really keep things straight, I don't put the ranch over my business and my kids
Yeah.
and all of those things because I know that in those moments, the ranch is taken care of. And so I kind of do that. I wouldn't really call it like compartmentalization by any means, but I am just very aware of what is going to be able to withstand not getting my attention for a while and what absolutely needs my attention at all times. So
Yeah.
that's kind of it's not my top 3 things for balance by any means, but that is just how I prioritize those things throughout time.
No, that's a great way to say it because I remember I was asked to speak at an event and talk to women at was it at Lockheed? It was at one of the big corporations here in Fort Worth, and they wanted me to come in and speak to women about life balance. And at that moment is when I was just consulting. I didn't have Gypsy Soul anymore, so I had a lot of flexibility in my life, and I have an amazing husband, and it just I had a lot of positive things, and I don't know if it was God telling me to just no, but I just was like, I cannot go in and tell these women that are maybe working 40 and 50 hours a week, they could be a single mom, what my definition of life balance is. Because, and I guess I could have spoke on, I don't believe in life balance, but I wasn't at a point in my life that I had that thought process, kind of like you do. If you put yourself on this list of A, B, C, D, and it stays that way all the time, you're always going to feel like a failure. So
Mhm.
that analogy is actually epic. I love it.
Well, and honestly, like that is my definition for me in balance. Like I think we think balance is this like effortlessly cool thing and women do it without a problem. There's nobody on earth who does anything without issue. Like whoever put that image into our head or that narrative, like that does not exist. So I know that for me, I'm going to be able to do this and this at this time and I can get it all done, just not all in a day, not all at the same time. I can chase any dream I want to. I can, be as involved in my children's lives as I want to. I can be the best wife that I can be. I can be an awesome business owner. I will, when I go to my grave, I will have done all of that. But it's not all going to be at the same time on the very same day, day
Yes.
after day after
Right.
day.
No, no. And that's what my one of my best friends, Kelsey, that owns Turnback Pony. I mean, she'll call me and she'll be like, da, 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 I ate donuts with my kid today because I didn't cook her breakfast and like just all the things she thinks is wrong. And I just let her say everything. And then I'm like, Kelsey, did you spend time with your daughter? Yes, we ate donuts. Did you get her to school? Yes. Did you get your order shipped out? Yes. Did you help your husband ride 32 horses today? Yes. I'm like, did you
Then you did
praise
it.
did you praise Jesus? Yes. I'm like, that was a great day. And do you have a roof over your head and you paid your bills? Yes. So, it is. I don't know where this whole perfect coolness, I don't stress, things aren't hard, life's not a struggle, BS has come from. So you just have to, my dad always says, life's a game. So just play the game, have fun.
That is the perfect way. It is totally a game, and you've just got to cinch up
Yes.
and play.
Yes, yes. So I want to circle back around, kind of to the start of how we connected, or I found you on like where you started in the industry, and maybe is it you've always ranched, but as far as like being a content creator or being a voice in the Western industry, like take me through the beginning, just a small snippet of that.
Yeah, of course. So you mentioned I grew up on our farm, on our family ranching operation. I've been involved in the ranching industry for forever. So I feel like that piece has obviously always been with me. I will say my first real step into like the Western lifestyle world would be when I started working for the Boutique Hub, which at that time was a part-time job. I worked remote out of my home office. And I was one of the very first hires for the
That's
Boutique
right.
Hub,
I
and they
forgot
now
that.
have over 20 employees.
Yeah.
Like it has grown wildly in the 7 years that I was there. But that was really my first entrance into the world of retail, the world of Western lifestyle. And so after that came Ashley Alderson, Tiffany Cooper, and I all co owned Western Runway magazine.
Yes.
And we
Yep.
owned that for, gosh, I think we started that in 2017 and then we sold it, it would have been in 2021. So for 5 years. And just going to markets and being involved on the retail side of the industry, like that's how I met people and created those friendships. And one of the things that I think is really unique, or not necessarily unique about me, but unique about my story is most people like you kind of live in that mecca of Texas, which is huge if you are in the Western retail world. And I do not. I live in the middle of nowhere, Idaho, and I absolutely love it here. And while there are days where I wish that I could just pop down to the stockyards and go hang out with my friends, like I don't have that opportunity. So because I don't have that opportunity, I make the most of any time I ever get to travel. I put my phone away and I have like those real one on one, human to human, face to face conversations. Like I fill my cup up to the brim. And then when I get home, I really nurture those friendships and relationships. Like I will text people like you or, Jody from Fringe Scarves and just say like,
Yes.
"Hey, how's it going? What's going on?" Or "Oh, I saw this on Instagram and I thought that you might benefit from it," or like it just kind of reminded me of you, or whatever it is. But I really focus on nurturing those friendships because I am out of sight from most people, but I don't want to be out of mind, and not in a selfish way, but like that is not how you can grow your friendships and relationships, right? Like you always kind of have to have those touch points. So I do make the biggest point to really nurture and fertilize my friendships in that. And so I think that that's one of the reasons that I've been able to create such a strong network within our industry is just because like when I make a relationship with somebody, when I, meet somebody for the first time, like I am going to tend to my little garden of friends very, very well.
You do. You do. You're very when you see you when you are with you in person, it's you are very I don't even want to use the word intense. It's not because I'm a very intense person. You're very into that person, no distracting, listening, taking it all in. So as your friend, I feel that.
Well,
So
good. That's my
yeah,
goal. So that makes me feel
yes,
I might be
no,
doing something right.
no, you do for sure. That's 100%, you do. So I love it. I love it. I love it. So with you touching on building these relationships, I want to go right into this. So you do your you get tons of views on social media, and I love what you post because it's so real. It's not like this premeditated. It's your life that you put out there, and it's your personality, and that's why it works. And um, if when our viewers listen to this or watch this, it's going to air after the NFR, but we're coming up on the NFR right now. And right now, my DMs, my inboxes, if they go follow through, are just blowing up with, "We want to wear your stuff. We pay us $500, and we'll do this and we'll do that." And so, my biggest thing that I get, that I take away when I get this is they do not even say what my product is. They don't address it to me or the name of my brand. It's like a copied and paste thing. And the third thing that really puts the nail in the coffin for me is, how are you going to promote a pair of socks walking around? I mean, what's your idea? Like, what's throw something out at me if you really want me to spend my money on you. And if you follow who I am and what the brand is, I'm already working with some of the top influencers in the industry and what they're producing. So you kind of need to bring it if you're thinking of this as a business. So I would love to hear from you because I hold you very well respected as a person in that space of what would you tell these people?
Oh, that is a great question, and it's tough. And I will say again, by no means in all of the relationships that I have had as a quote unquote influencer, which still despise that title, but that relationship with brands and retailers, I know I have failed somebody out there. So, like, I am by no means perfect. But I do think that a lot of my success has came through my experience in working on the business side of retail organizations. I, as a business owner myself, I understand all that it takes to run a business and all of the expenses and all of the work behind the scenes. So I really understand, like, okay, how can I make a measurable impact for a business owner that I'm working with, because this is a business relationship. Yes, I am getting something out of it, but the business needs to get something out of it as well. It has to be mutually beneficial. It can't be, only on the influencer or the content creator to make out like a bandit and leave the
Yes.
business
No, it's
owner hanging. But it also can't be the other way around. And I've had those relationships too. So it is something that always has to be mutually beneficial. So I always think, okay, how, first and foremost, how can the business benefit? Because that is me as providing them value. And then if I can provide them value, I have shown my value, I will get what I deserve in return. So that's always, I never put myself first in the process. I always put the business first. How can I bring you value? What kind of value can I bring? And then if these are my results, then obviously my value, it's sitting there, right? It is determined. So it will come back to me.
yeah. And I feel like they miss the relationship part of it.
Yes. And that's the other thing. Before I actually say this, I got to think about this. I don't think that I've ever worked with a brand or retailer that I do not know personally, that I have not built a relationship with them prior to reaching out to work with them. I've never pitched myself before. Any type of opportunity that I've ever had has came to me. And I don't necessarily recommend that. Like, I think that if you want to be growing and scaling who you are, you absolutely have to be pitching yourself. But part of that comes from the fact that we're ranchers and I am a mom and I worked part time for a company and now I own my own company. So I don't necessarily have a full time opportunity to be a content creator, nor do I want to. So the work that comes to me is as much as I can handle. But if I didn't have all of those other things, then I would absolutely need to be pitching myself to provide for myself, if that makes sense. So I don't want anybody to listen to that and think like, oh, I shouldn't pitch myself. That's not true at all. That is for me and my like specific situation. But I have never worked with somebody that I don't already have a relationship with or that I didn't already wear their product, because I'm sure you get a pile of those too. You get a message from somebody who, hey, pay me $500 and I'll wear your socks to NFR. And when you go into Shopify and you look to see, has this person ever even ordered from me before?
No.
They haven't. So if you've never even worn the product, how do you know that you're going to like it? And that is what goes then back to the content creator in my
Yep.
mind of like, you have to be creating genuine, authentic content. And at this point in our life, I am so over the world. I am so over the word genuine and authentic because they are so overused. They are the new buzzwords, just like out of an abundance of caution. That phrase, I'm over that one as well. And
I
not for
don't
political reasons, but like every company now says out of an abundance of caution. Like, just say you're trying to be cautious. We don't need this. Like, it is, anyways,
over.
my point.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
like we've overdone it, but we've also overdone this idea of like authenticity and being genuine, because it is so watered down now. Like, you have to be providing content that is real and true to you as a content creator, right? Like, and it also has to be real and true to your audience as well. I know who my audience is. I know that if somebody reaches out to me and they want me to help them share their motor oil, that's probably not going to land well with my audience. I
Well,
mean, yeah, we all
maybe
have cars, right? But like the
tractors.
thing, yes. So You're right. Maybe that was the worst example ever. But the point is,
Yeah.
like, I have said no time and time again to opportunities that would have probably been really great. But my audience is not the audience for the product. And again, it goes back to wanting to provide value. If I am
Mhm.
not going to convert sales or get somebody new customers or followers, that it is then their responsibility to go make those sales. But if I can't do that, then that's not a mutually beneficial partnership. And the other
No.
thing, kind of going back to the authenticity side of things, is it is really easy to spot people who are inauthentic. And especially now with reels, I feel like you can be the person who you post a reel every day for 60 days in a row and your following is going to take off like wildfire. But when it comes to things like stories or the actual engagement in them, there is no real true like meat on the plate. There is no engagement. There's no story views because that person hasn't actually built a trusted relationship with their audience of followers. Whereas, like, I may not get the most views on my reels or I might not get the most like likes on a post, but I can tell you the amount of conversations that I have with my audience in my DMs because like they feel like they are part of me and my life and my journey, and they, they joke about my dad and they ask questions about my kids and all of these things. Like, I have cultivated and created these real relationships with people, and I that's one of the reasons and probably the only reason that I've ever been successful.
That's great because for me, and I don't know if it's their age demographic or what. So I like, and I'll notice that I will be like, I'll get all these DMs, and I'm like, oh my god, I gotta answer. Like, can't we just call each other?
Yes.
So I am like, so that's for me on like my personal page. I am horrible. I'll just be like, thanks, instead of, so that is a great advice as for someone, especially my age, that I didn't understand. I'm not understanding that form of communication, of building that culture in that sense. I've
Well,
dropped tremendously on that.
and I guess if somebody's listening and they are a content creator of sorts and there's a company out there that they want to work with that's like their highest of highs, reach out to them and just say like, "Hey, what can I do to help you?" Right? Like ask what you can do. And yeah, you might work
Yes.
for free for a hot minute, but if you can provide real lasting value, you won't be working for free for long. But again, everybody is, hey, pay me $500 so I can wear your socks at NFR, when you're right. No, who is going to see your socks?
Yeah.
Nobody. Versus, hey, Lorinda, I absolutely love your product. If there's anything that I can do to help you, or if there's any way that you feel like you are wanting to get your product out in front of a different audience and I may be able to help with that, let me know. That message is probably going to land a whole lot better than the, hey, here's my cost, here's what you pay me, when
Yeah.
they also probably have never shown any kind of metrics or data to prove what is their value and what have
No.
they done as far as the return on your investment. Because if you're going to pay them $500, you're going to need to sell more than $500 worth of socks.
Yes. And that's a lot of socks if you start dividing that out,
Yeah.
adding that up. Well, and my favorite is when they reach out to me and number one, I'll go to their page. I always look, and I go to their page. They're not following me or Lucky Chuck, which they don't have to follow me, but regardless, wherever they reach out to me, they're not following me. And then I go to their content, and it's like all their content is like them, like just, and I'm like, at what point now you're going to change your content to your feet? So that's not going to, like, that's not what you've trained your audience. They're used to watching you sing songs with a beer in your hand. So,
Yeah, like unless you're going to use your sock as a koozie all of a sudden, and this is your unique content, like it's not.
yeah.
And I think too, the other thing, and this may be my opinion, is I can see that there are definitely a lot of people out there who are jealous of those who are incredibly successful in the Western lifestyle when it comes to being a content creator.
Mhm.
And I can tell you the reason that they are as successful as they are is because they are putting in the work. They are providing value. They are a 5 and 10x return on the
Yes.
investment that somebody is making. Like, they are true professionals
Mm-hmm.
in how they work. And that is why they're successful as they are. So instead of being jealous of them, people need to realize, okay, well, what can I do to become a
That.
professional like they are?
Yes. Yeah, I agree. And what's really shifted for me is, some of the best content creators I've worked with, I've started that affiliate link where they make 25%. And I mean, they're making way more than the $500 or the $900 I would have paid them. Like, here's the product, here's your link. I mean, and we discuss and decide what works for both of us, but the work they're putting in, and they actually wear my product, they actually love my product. And that's the biggest thing when you touched on that about being authentic. When we did our co-branding with Fallon Taylor back in the day, that was the one, I would pick her brain anytime I would get her alone, because Fallon is incredible. She is an incredible businesswoman. And she would say, if I don't use or sell products, my audience that I don't love, my audience knows won't sell. Like, she goes, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how they know, but I cannot sell things I don't really use.
Well, and I think part of that is because and then we kind of go back to the idea of like a natural product placement versus something that
Yes.
is paid. Like, if I am taking a picture, like a selfie, which I don't take selfies very often, but if I'm taking a selfie and you see the thing in the cup holder of my car and you like
Yes.
see it on my desk and all of these places where it's just randomly in the background because I use it and love it every single day, then people realize, like, oh, that whatever it may be is always around. She must really, really love it versus the one or two times that you share something
Yeah.
that, like, okay, clearly this
No.
is something that is bought and paid for. But I love that you brought up the commission side of things and the affiliate link, because I love eating what I kill, which is this idea of, if I sell $100 worth of socks, then I'm going to make $25, because that also tells me that if I want to push it more, then I'm going to be rewarded more. And if it can't fit into my life at this moment in time, then I am going to be rewarded, or lack thereof, for the lack of involvement and investment that I have. But the other thing that I think really does suck about social media is, I could have the greatest post. I could have the greatest
Yes.
caption. I could post it 7 days in a row, and every single day it is going to get different results, just
Yes.
based on like who and what and where and how. And obviously, like, if you're somebody who's thinking about this in the literal sense, like, I don't mean I'm going to post it 7 days in a row. I mean, like, I'm going to post it on a Sunday and then a Monday and then a Tuesday, like the day of the week, the time, it doesn't really matter. Things work differently every day of the week. And so in the past, when I have worked with brands and it is like they pay me a fee and then I post my whatever it is, it sucks for me when that thing doesn't perform, because I
Yes.
feel like I have let them down and that I've cheated
Mm-hmm.
them. And that is
Mm-hmm.
not what I am about whatsoever.
Yep.
So I love the, like, I eat what I kill, because I know if something performs over and above, I am going to get rewarded for that. And if it doesn't perform, the brand or the retailer, like, they are not out anything just because it was the worst Wednesday of the week in the land of Instagram.
No, well, and that's what, like, when I pretty much my attitude working with any content creators, I'm like, if you don't love my socks, we're not a fit. Period. I love you. Let's have drinks at market. Come stay in my guest house. Because I have relationships with all of them, and it's a business for them, and that's how they make their money. So I get that. But if they love my socks, I want them to have enough socks that they have them on every day. So if somebody at Walmart is like, "Oh my gosh, Jessie, do you really wear those $20 socks?" And you're like, "Yes, I have them on." I don't want people to be like, "Oh, I don't have them on today. I only wear them when I make videos." No.
Yes.
So I truly want, that's number one. So anybody I work with, I send them the product and I say, call me in 2 weeks. Tell me if you love the product. If you love the product, We'll work together. Great. And then then we go to, is there, are we going to do a fee and affiliate, whatever we decide. But my whole thing is, don't give me this package, 2 reels, a TikTok. Just wear my socks in all your other videos. That's it. You don't even really have to tag me. You can just tag me on the ones you feel I get or that makes sense. But it's been amazing, the influencers or content creators, that's all they do. The amount, I mean, it's 100 times better payback for me.
Oh, absolutely. And honestly, it makes sense because it is the definition of authentic.
Yes. And that's it. Like, at the end of the day, nobody's going to buy $22.99 socks if they don't really feel good. So it's terrible.
No, it makes sense. It absolutely does.
So, okay, we're going to get off that because we could just beat a dead horse forever, because we both are business owners. We've both been on both sides of it. What your other part of my girl crush on you is your company you started, Of the West. And you know how much I love your company because I tried to buy it from you. So, or buy part of it. I just wanted to
That's
be
true.
involved. Yes, I tried to buy it from you. So I absolutely, it's incredible. I mean, and you to be the brainchild behind it. So if anybody, you don't know what it is, I'm going to let you tell. I'm not going to tell about it. You tell us what it is.
Yeah. Okay. So I own a company called Of the West. We launched in January of 2021. And what it started out as is a job platform specifically for agriculture and Western industries. So, Western, not west of the Mississippi, Western meaning Western sports, Western lifestyle, the equine industry, anything that, like, when you think of a cowboy hat or a horse, Western in that regard. So, it started out as a job platform. And we have since grown into, you can also now find freelancers and contractors through our directory Of the West. So if somebody was looking for an ag photograph, an ag photographer or a videographer or a web designer, like people within our industry, bookkeepers, accountants, lawyers, anything who you want to work with that person or you're needing them to fill a gap or work on a project or like needing to start a relationship with them, but they have to have agriculture or like Western industry experience, you can go find them. And then in March of 2025, we are launching Schools of the West. So it will be very similar to the directory where you can go find schools, again, all focused in agriculture or Western industry. So 2-year community colleges, 4-year universities or institutions, graduate programs, master's programs, doctoral degrees. And then we're also going to incorporate trades in that as well. So if you want to go be an auctioneer, you can go find auctioneering schools. If you want to go be an equine dentist or a chiropractor, any of those like things that you need to have some kind of certification for within, again, agriculture and Western industries, you will be able to find that through Schools of the West. And that is March of 2025 is when that'll launch.
That is super exciting because I can remember, I think I went to auctioneering school in Billings, the same one as my dad. So
Yes.
I think we had to look it up in the back of the Western Horseman, maybe.
And honestly, that is just it. Like if you want to go to auctioneering school, Billings is the place.
Yeah.
But unless you are like me, like local to the industry, or you already know somebody in the industry, it is not easy to find because so many of those types of programs, they don't have the budgets to market themselves at the rate that they need to be marketed. Same with
Yep.
the most prestigious equine dentistry school in the world is in my hometown. And there are people who come 4 times a year from Europe, from Australia, from across the US will come to Glens Ferry for our equine dentistry program. And you never see anything about it online. I've never seen an ad for it anywhere. It unless you know what you're looking for, it's really hard to find. So,
Yep.
I want to create a place where you can go to one spot and you can find any kind of education or career path that you would be interested in looking into or interested in pursuing, because I think that that is so critical if we want to continue to see our industries grow. We have to make it easier for people to find that information
Yes.
because, one, we want to retain the people that we already have within our industry, but we also know that we need to bring in outsiders.
Yes.
And if you grew up in the middle of New York City and you want to be an auctioneer, which most people probably don't even know what an auctioneer is in the middle of New York City. But the point is, like, where are they going to find that information? I know I can go find that because, today is a Wednesday. It's sale day. I could drive to Twin Falls to the Twin Falls Livestock Commission and I could ask the auctioneer, Jack Riggs, hey, where did you go to auctioneering school? Right? Because I have that connection. But for so many people out there, they don't have those connections. And we have to increase the number of people within our industry if we want to continue to see it succeed and flourish and thrive. So we've got to make information easier to find.
Well, and I mean, that is, if you're an outsider and you don't know, and you don't even have friends in the industry, you, you don't have a clue. So making
No.
things easy for people to find. And it's crazy when I had the idea, I was like, people call me all the time for jobs or this or that. And so then I was like Googling and I was like, what is this? And then I'm like, oh my God, Jessie owns this.
Wait a minute. I know her.
I was like, wait, somebody's already done this. Oh my God. So, I mean, and I'm in the industry and I didn't, way back when you first launched it, I didn't even put it all together. So it's pretty amazing. So what has been your biggest struggle with launching this company? Well, it's not even, it's
Oh,
beyond launch now. I mean, it's thriving.
no, I
So
would say though, like a couple of things. I think there are probably a lot of people out there who want to launch businesses, and I am so supportive of that. Like, if you have a dream on your heart, go chase the dream.
yes.
The other thing that I will say is you need to be willing to commit 5 to 10 years to that dream to
Mm,
see it
through.
grow and flourish and be successful. Like,
Yes.
yes, you can absolutely chase the dream. We've been in business 4 years now. Have we been successful? Yes, of course. There are still more people who don't know about us than who do know about us. So we obviously have a long ways ahead of us. And I know that it is probably going to take us 5 to 10 years to really establish ourselves within the industry. And that's probably crazy to somebody who thinks like, "Oh, well, everybody's talking about Of the West. Everybody knows about Of the West." Like, I love that your circle and your network knows about it, but not everybody does. And so I think that, again, when you want to go pursue something, one of the questions you need to ask yourself is, am I willing to grind this out for 5 to 10 years to really see it succeed? And if you're not, that's okay. There are a lot of people who are not in that position who cannot dedicate that kind of time, and that is what it is. Maybe find some other creative ideas or ways of going about it. But I think for most of us,
Yeah.
it does take a while. There is no such thing as an overnight success. And even though we all know that, we all kind of hope that we would be one. And nope, that's not how it works.
It's
We
it's
are,
like it's like finding that special horse at the sale barn.
yeah, we are quickly
Yeah.
reaffirmed, no, that we are not going to be very lucky in that regard. And so
Nope.
I think that just like the general growing and scaling a company in this industry, like that has been our biggest challenge. There's not one specific thing. One thing I will say is when it comes to what we do, we are technically a tech company. I know nothing about tech. I've never been in HR. I've never been a recruiter. So at this point, like, why am I qualified to own this company? But my qualification is that I am so damn passionate about agriculture and the Western industry and the future of our industries. And I can go figure anything out because I have that passion fueling my fire. But I definitely run into the problem of, because there aren't there are definitely tech companies out there within our industry. I'm not going to knock anybody else, but there are not a ton of companies doing what we're doing or other people doing what we're doing. And so surrounding myself with that like technical business network of people who are experiencing the same problems that I am, or who are like having the growth challenges that we are, or who are running into the tech side of things that we are, like, it is hard for me to go bounce ideas off of those people because there are not necessarily many of them out there. So that's the other thing that I would say is kind of a challenge that is
It's
probably unique to me versus like yeah, somebody may not be out there making socks, but they could be making something else, and you can kind of go and, bounce ideas off of one another. Like the tech piece, I do struggle with that.
Yes. Well, and it's tech in the Western industry is not cohesive in a sense,
No.
and then just even myself, I have really had, people will call me about jobs, and I will, be like, I don't know of anything, but I mean, I have got it down now. I send them directly to the website. I'm like, I have got to be the voice for my friend. I
I
cannot be.
actually I just got an email from somebody last week who had said that he had found us because you had recommended
Yes. So
us to him.
that has been like my mantra, and like Carrie Kelly calls me all, when he needs an employee. And cause he's like, I don't want to put it out there, but you always know people looking for jobs. And I'm like, you really need to put it on Jessie's website, please. So can you
Well, you
please
always
buy a membership to at least pretend you're going to do it? And then you can call me and I won't feel bad.
I tell you what, you have been one of the biggest cheerleaders and just so incredibly supportive since the beginning, and that really does mean the world.
So, but it's just it's a new, it's something new, and that's it's exciting. And it's with all, with Gypsy Soul, flip-flops weren't new, but putting crystals on, like the way I did it, doing the socks this way, it's not new, but it is new, and you're in that exact same boat. It's not new to have a place to go put yourself to get a job, but the way you're doing it is new.
Yeah, and it's definitely new for our industry as far as there is not enough, there are other sites out there who exist for the agriculture side of the world. And they are great at what they do. They've been around for forever. I think they could be better, but that is me personally, and that's kind of, why we're going the route and the avenue that we are. But when it comes to the Western side of the industry, there is not another place that exists that somebody can go and find Western industry jobs.
Mhm.
And so it has taken people I mean, it's a change in their habits, right? We're used to
Yes.
posting jobs on LinkedIn or Indeed or using our Facebook friends. And those are all great avenues. And I think that we need, like, if you post it on Of the West, chances are you're probably going to have to post it on Facebook too. Like, you can't just use one method, right? But it is the habit of, well, I've never done this, or I've never used this, or I've never done it this way, that we definitely run into, as we are a product that we have to change people's habits because nothing else out there exists like us in the industry.
No, no. Well, I'm a fan. I'm going to help. I'm going to be better. So you are going to get more emails as time goes on and people reach out to me. I need to just put that under my bio. And if you're looking for a job, don't call me. Go here.
Well, you are awesome. I so appreciate you.
Yes. Well, I've taken up enough of your day and you need to go water cows. And I'm going to go turn my horses out because they're still in their stalls. But I truly, like I said, I admire you so much as a woman in business, as a mother, as a wife. You are beautiful inside and out, and you bring so much to our industry and the world. And I just so appreciate you giving me an hour of your day to do this.
Oh, well, this has been the best. You are awesome. All of those kind things that you just said about me, I would send them right back to you. You really are just such a light and such an awesome woman. And I am so lucky to know you and have you in my corner. So thank you for having me, and thank you for just always being there.
Anytime, and get your butt to Texas so we can go to the Drover. I'm going to take
Yes.
you to the Crescent. That's where Drover's too busy. Bowie House has gotten too busy. So now me and Joel go to the Crescent. They have a beautiful bar, and
Okay.
the red wine that I found in Montecito when we went out for the wedding this summer, they serve it there by the glass. So
Okay. Sign
yeah,
me up.
we have a date. So I will meet you at the Crescent.